Today's podcast seeks to help you free your mind from worry by helping you find ways to achieve peace of mind. Thank you for listening. When you carry peace with you, you have the ability to remain calm and joyful at all times, regardless of outside circumstances or what life offers you at any given moment. Eternal peace means freeing your mind from worry and negative thoughts. Or you could say eternal peace is a state in which the mind is quiet and serene. Inner peace may seem to be a lofty goal, but it's a state of being, and that's attainable for all of us. Now I'm going to discuss 6 ways to help you achieve inner peace. Number 1, accept what is. Whatever is happening in the present moment, say yes to it. Don't resist it. Don't struggle against it, and don't try to argue with it. The present is already here, and it is what it is. When you struggle with the way things are now, you are struggling with the entire universe. No amount of arguing will change the present moment. Arguing with the way things are now just creates suffering. Instead of arguing, accept and surrender to what it is. Then ask yourself what the present moment requires of you, and do it. I heard an old saying one time, something to the effect that if you have no expectations from the world, then you'll never be disappointed. So when I say accept what is, I'm not saying consent to things that are wrong or bad, or consent to someone hurting you. I would never imply that or infer that. I would never mean that. What I'm saying is lower your expectations from the world. Accept what is. It is what it is. Again, if you do not have expectations from the world, you'll never be disappointed. And this is a very strong advice. Okay, tip number 2. Practice non-judgment. The moment in which you start judging whatever is happening to you and labeling it as bad or unfair and so on, what you do is you're putting yourself in a jail cell. You can free yourself from your little self-made prison by practicing non-judgment. I see this a lot in the community. People are prisoners of their own mind. They have certain beliefs that they won't break out of. And honestly, I feel bad for them at some level. Best examples are like maybe people who are very staunch in their political beliefs. They kind of live inside their own echo chambers. I think in psychology it's called groupthink. It's where you only surround yourself with people who agree with you, and you always kind of arrive at your foregone conclusions. It's very dangerous. Okay, 3. Transform your addictions into preferences. An addiction is any desire that makes you upset or unhappy if it's not satisfied. So when I say addictions, I'm not really referring to drugs. It can be anything. A simple example of addiction would be like cell phones and social media. If not having your cell phone or checking on your social media constantly, if not being able to do that makes you upset or unhappy and you're not satisfied, then maybe you're addicted. So let's talk about it. If you get upset because you ask someone for help and they refuse, then you are addicted to having people acquiesce to your requests. If you get upset because your car won't start in the morning, then you're addicted to having a car that's in perfect working condition. Again, and I do know you might be raising an eyebrow or kind of giving me the side eye right now. I understand that. So just kind of roll with me on some of these ideas that we're rolling around. Next, if you get upset because the grocery store is out of your favorite breakfast cereal bars, then maybe you're addicted to your breakfast cereal bars. When you transform your addictions into preferences, here is what happens. If you ask your friend for help and he agrees to help you, that makes your day even better than it was. So it was never anything, you had no expectations, so you were never let down. So anything good that happens to you is just makes you even happier. So this is a good way to look at it. However, if that friend you asked refuses to help you, everything is still fine. After all, being helped by your friend is just a preference. It's okay if he doesn't help you. Because remember, you never went in with that expectation, so you could never be let down. Understand? Now, this idea also applies to the car and breakfast cereal bar examples. By transforming your addictions into preferences, you will no longer feel restless and unhappy if your desires are not realized. And this leads to peace of mind. Okay, number 4. Teach your mind to become still. A turbulent mind cannot be at peace. We need to teach our mind to move from turbulence to tranquility. The way we do this is through the practice of meditation. You can begin to meditate by closing your eyes and focusing on your breathing. Then treat any thoughts that try to take your attention away from your breath like clouds passing through an otherwise sunny day. If you start to think of something that makes you angry or anxious, do the following. 1. Do not push the thought away. At the same time, don't place your attention on it. And simply allow the thought to make its way across the horizon of your awareness and then just let it drift off. While a mind that jumps indiscriminately from thought to thought is stressed and agitated, a mind that is still is at peace. And that's why I also mentioned in an earlier podcast about the same thing is if you have intrusive, traumatic thoughts, we try to push those hurtful thoughts out. Maybe it's okay to just let it in, let it have its moment, ask why, and let it drift away. The more we push the thought out, the more we acknowledge its existence. If we just let it come in, think about it, meditate on it, and let it drift away, then it's no longer really a threat, Okay, tip number 5, practice mindfulness. A mind that is at peace is in the here and now. It's not thinking compulsively about the past and the future. You can bring your attention back to the present moment by doing the following. 1, place your attention on the feeling of aliveness in your body, in your hands, your arms, your legs, and so on. 2, place your attention on an object in your environment and take a moment to just really look at it and enjoy it. Take a moment to feel gratitude for something in the present moment. The coffee you're drinking, the comfortable chair you're sitting on, the sweater that's keeping you warm, and so on. Okay, tip number 6. Use your willpower to choose thoughts that make you feel at peace. When most people think of willpower, they think of the following. 1, use your willpower to choose to eat an apple instead of a chocolate brownie. 2, use your willpower to choose to go out for a jog instead of sitting on the couch with the remote in one hand and a bag of chips in the other. 3, use your willpower to choose to study instead of playing video games. However, you can also use your willpower to choose your thoughts. That is, choose thoughts that will help you and bring you peace instead of choosing thoughts that will hurt you. So, do the following. Throughout the day, pay attention to your thoughts. When you realize that you're entertaining thoughts that hurt you, stop. Switch over to thoughts that help you and that make you feel at peace. Now, keep telling yourself that you can always choose thoughts that will bring you inner peace. Now, earlier I said that if you're thinking of negative thoughts that hurt you, stop. But remember, sometimes if you keep pushing it out, what you're doing is you're solidifying and acknowledging its existence, and that legitimizes the thought. So maybe, like I said, just don't fight it, let it in, and let it pass through and go away. Okay, I want to thank you for listening, and please consider subscribing.